Siamo in un videogioco dove tutto si ripete ciclicamente. Ci sono player one e personaggi non giocanti che tengono in piedi la Matrix. E tu che cosa sei? Da che parte stai? C'è un grande multiverso là fuori, fatto di luce e colori. L'effetto Mandela ci confonde, reality shift e funzioni donne che collassano, creando quella che tu chiami realtà. Che tu chiami realtà. La verità nessuno la conosce, probabilmente nemmeno esiste. La vita è fatta di punti di vista.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back in a new episode of The Point of View. Today is a big day for me because here we are with an important research and independent research of the channel that maybe you know, New Hair channel that now I show you, so you can subscribe and see what this researcher talking about. Actually, maybe you know something about hair because we analyzed in the past a lot of videos from hair. So, welcome, Madame SYLVIE Ivanova. How are you?
Fine. Thank you for inviting me, Adrian.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. We can notice on your YouTube channel, also in the megaliths.org, that is your website, that you deal with alternative research, especially in the historical and esoteric field. We know that history of humanity is full of lies, and I'd like to talk with you about some topics. So let's start from the beginning. In my channel, we studies through Fomenko studies and beyond. We have a lot of problem with the timeline, no? The timeline of humanity species. Some people say, someone can read in the Bible that we have no more than 6,000 years. Some people say that we have a very longer timeline, and some people say that maybe we are really, really shorter. So, what is your opinion about the timeline of humanity in species?
The timeline in general is a bit tricky thing. What I believe, and that is based not only on my personal experience, but also on a lot of past regression cases, so where people practically channel verified information from past sources. The timing used to flow differently in older days. And this could have started as close as 1,000 years ago. I don't know when it exactly started, or maybe as we near the end now, maybe it has been getting faster and faster. Who knows? But in general, what I understand is at least a couple of thousand years ago, it used to flow considerably slower. Like in the older Slavic calendar, we have units of time which are parts of seconds, and there are a number of them, not just one. And they are like a basic thing. It's not something minor. Somebody suggests something. They are intrinsic part of the basic calendar, not even of some detailed calendar. So why did people give attention? Why did they even decide to have such units of time? Apparently, um, and these are the main clues that time used to flow differently. Another thing is now they are the current parasitic forces. They are also trying to distort the entire creation and the very fabric of time. Is it exactly with the CERN installation in Swiss, or some other underground or whatever above ground installations, that's another thing. But because I have some experience with sacred plants, especially lately, I started noticing considerable difference in time when I use sacred plants and I don't. And what I mean is like shocking difference. I can't measure it because somehow I don't know how, maybe like 10 times or 20 even. And because now I'm so busy with things, I often take them not even in ceremonials, but while I actually have to do my own work because I'm trying hard to raise my own vegetables, not to eat the poisons in the shop. So I have to work even when I am supposed to be in ceremony. And I noticed that I do 20 times more work than it's suspicious, huh? So back to your question, I got a bit sidetracked. It's quite difficult to measure in our years, but maybe in our terms, usually Atlantis would be some about 20,000 years ago. And at that time, the advanced part of the humanity got destroyed. So probably what we call cavemen, probably many of them survived. And when did we really start after the last reset? Not that we really started at that time, must have been at least 10, 20 or 30,000 years. I have heard 30, 35, something like this. That was the time of Lemuria. Lemuria, as far as I understand, was when we first started our current bloodline without interruption. Then there was, after Lemuria Atlantis, there was some slight blood connection, Neanderthals and all that. And what the Bible says about 5 or 6 thousand years, probably that is referring to the current civilization. Now, civilization can be different from human life on Earth. So maybe the current civilization is just about that much old. Yeah, something like this. That's probably what the Bible means. So most of these things are true, I believe. Yeah, what the Bible says. Yeah.
Okay. In these last years, but I think also before, a lot of people talking about the reset. They say that our civilizations have like a destruction and a reborn, no? Something like that. Some people say that there is just one of the reset, the most important maybe, with the flood, the big flood. But later, some people start to say also that there was more of one, no, more than one, maybe every 200 years something happened in our stories. So, what do you think about the resets? They are true? How many? And what do you think also?
All of these are actually true. They are minor cyclical resets. Now, was it 200 years or something like this? Probably there seems to be some sort of major reset then. Probably they are like this every couple of 100 years. Probably the biblical one, really, with the Noah's boat, was somewhat bigger than that, and that could have been a major event for the last couple of thousand years. But before that, probably there were many like this. And a complete wipeout, that was before Lemuria. That was before Lemuria. After that, after Lemuria, there were many big resets and floods, but they did not break the bloodline.
Okay, can you explain me just a bit more what do you mean for Lemuria? Because a lot of people say a lot of things about this civilization, but I don't know if we have how to say the information to describe this civilization. So, what is your opinion about Lemuria?
The only thing I believe about Lemuria is the information I get from the books of Jane Roberts, which I have confirmed by other means, and I take them to be more reliable than Bible or anything. Indeed, if somebody, according to me, is looking for a scripture and holy book, they are the one of the holiest currently available. Just because they couldn't be edited, they are in English. They were written in English very recently, a couple of decades ago, so they couldn't scramble them. So that's where I get my information from Lemuria, and I have confirmed Jane Roberts as a source for many other using many other factors. So that's why I trust it so much.
Okay. Before I mentioned Fomenko studies, no, we talking about a lot in my channel because it's very interesting to know that maybe a lot of years missed in our story. Someone says that the medieval time never exists. What do you think about it?
Sorry, I couldn't hear. Did you say evil time never existed or what? Yeah,
Medieval. Yeah.
yeah. About the 1,000 extra years, absolutely yes. There are actually quite few sources about that. I think it's almost beyond doubt, like 98% certain. Yeah, you know about the proof, and yeah, that's my opinion.
So you agree with Fomenko studies?
Most of them, I think they're, of course, I have tried, I have made my own humble attempt to make the best possible recreation of the true timeline. But so I'm a bit partial to my information, but he should be the second most reliable. And although he has done much more than me, he lacks a bit of that shamanic touch and understanding and a bit of skills which are required for history. Without understanding the origin of the souls and its incarnational cycles, it's too difficult to figure out history. That's the only thing which he lacks, and he doesn't really say there was surely nothing uh, before these 1,000 years. He just says, I don't know what it is. So he is very honest. But in that blurry for him timeline, there is really a lot. And yeah, that's my opinion about him. Otherwise, as he says, there could be minor mistakes, but he's not aware of any major. That's my opinion about him.
Okay, thank you. Um, Last years came out a new theory. Maybe it's not so new, but in Italia we started talking about maybe 10 years ago, not more. So, insomma, we're talking about Tartaria. You know, Tartaria now is everywhere in Italy. I don't know in the other part of the world, but yeah, I think that you can help us because you came from the places where someone described the Tartarian empire. My question for you is, what do you think about Tartaria imperial? Do you think that is true? Because some people say that there was a big empire, global empire called Tartaria, but about my studies, that is not true. No, I want to know what do you know about Tartaria?
I do believe in general, I do agree with Fomenko. Mm, maybe you can tell me why you don't think there is any Tartaria. So because I think you have watched my material on Tartaria probably. So if there could be some discussion, because I'm out of purely historic research for some years now, maybe there is something new. Also, the other channels, probably mine was the first one to talk about Tartaria in the West, and after that there was a lot of it. And I tried to watch some of those videos, but they were not very, like, how to say, quite narrow focused without looking at the big picture. So tell me, what is, why you don't believe in it?
Yeah, just because I spoke in the past with a researcher called Philippe Druzinin, and we discussed together that we have at least no evidence of a big global empire. We just can say that maybe the Tartaria is a place really big, sure, but not all of the world, because who think about this big global empire put his basis on the architecture, on some flags, but not on with evidence. I think maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But what I found during my studies is there is a place called Tartaria. Something happened there for sure, but not in all of the world. That's what I mean.
Okay, I understand. Well, first of all, can we call it really an empire or not? Because empire already connects with the idea of imperialism. Probably they just influence the rest of the world quite a lot. How much was it in? Because also the definition of statehood was a bit more lousy at that time. Did the countries who were connected to Tartaria, for example, it seems the Tartarians also reached the Americans, so it was a bit far away. So maybe sometimes they had messengers who were spreading the culture, but probably not in the sense of demanding monetary tribute or levying taxes, things like that, which we would how to say usually connect with the idea we have about an empire. So maybe the influence was more cultural and educational, something like that. But there are some clues that it's at least messengers and were very well respected and accepted all around the globe, exactly as now. There is one certain tribe which one should not mention on YouTube, and they have one country somewhere in the world, but basically they govern the entire world. And how do they do it is through their cultural, so to say, that's how they call them, influencers. We are spreading our religion, our culture, don't offend us, all this stuff. It's a bit of a bad example because it's an evil influence. But let's imagine the same thing in a good way. So uh, they might have been practically ruling the world, as Fomenko says, but with good advice and messengers. Now, to what extent they were incorporated into the local governments, that is difficult to say now because probably they were respecting the natural law, which is the tribal law, and that works best on local level, not somebody from above to come and tell you. When people live in small communities, they kind of remain sane and normal, huh? When it becomes very big, then the corruption. So something like this. So probably it's something between you and Fomenko. The truth is somewhere in the middle.
Okay, that's really clear now. Um, when we talk about Tartaria, we have to talk about also ancient technologies. Official history says that we had an evolution with technologies, but sometimes it seems the opposite. Seems that we are now evolved now in this moment. Sorry, less evolved now. In the past, we can see that some building around us is really difficult, no, to build also, but also to understand what is the real origin and what is the rule of this building. So I would like to talk with you about the ancient technologies and what do you think about this? because we if you talk with some official researcher, he can say to you that we don't know how they built this building, because they just have the hammer, and like for example happened with the pyramids, a lot of people talking about these slaves that work with their hammer and build this big building. But yes, I don't think that this is the the real way that they do it. They did it. Can you talk us about your opinion about the ancient technologies and our past architecture?
In Tartaria in particular, or in general,
Well,
or
I
both?
can say also in general, yeah.
Okay, what I say will be applicable to a larger degree to Tartaria, but also in general. It is true that we really don't know how they did it, but what I see on the internet lately, or always actually from the mainstream and the alternative researchers, they look for some clues of how it has or might have been done. And the clues are usually, obscure and insufficient, and then starts a wild speculation which is based on our mechanical paradigm, always about mechanically shifting things, and the main point is out of scope of vision, and that is that those people, they knew how to use spirit. Now, I don't know how exactly were they shifting stones and shaping them with spirit. Were they, using some mechanism or some forgotten technology, or were they becoming Superman by drinking sacred plants like Obelix and Asterix? That I don't know exactly, but this will be the way um, to discover, and I think we will know very soon, because now you know that I'm in the end times research, and I believe that in a decade or two, actually, the true history will be revealed. That is one of the reasons now I don't do research anymore. I think when the parasitic grip loosens, then I don't know how exactly, but people will find out their true history. Will Christ come and tell, or just people will figure it out, or the hidden books will come out from the hidden vaults? That I don't know, but within a couple of decades, those who are still alive will find out. But I believe in the shamanic approach.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with you also. But in Tartaria now, in Tartaria topics, some people talking about, how can say, but building that use energy, or building that can take energy from the earth, from the heater also. So a lot of people start to talk about this star force, this cathedral that makes something with energies. Are you agree with this?
Most definitely. But we should not immediately, and many people immediately jump to, oh, they must have channeled electricity. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe some other energy, because this sacred geometry can work me on with many types of not only electricity, many types of energy. So I think it's quite speculative to suggest that, and I have seen in many videos people say, oh, I don't know what they have been putting in their lamps, it must have been electricity. No, if you don't know what they have been putting, it doesn't mean that it must have been electricity. Like, I've seen them going into inland. Oh, it could not have been candles. Okay, they explain why not. Oh, it could not have been gas. So they have a list of possible things. Well, maybe that list was not complete. It's not the proof that, and I see this mistake a lot with energy, with the electricity. There is this tendency to reduce everything to this common denominator of the electricity. We know it. Flame is also quite a magical thing. Maybe they had different ways to feed it also. Maybe also the climate was quite different. We know that even according to official sources, it was different. Maybe it was even more different, and people didn't even need that much of heating. So most of this, when they talk about, you see, this was catching electricity from the air, this decoration on the top of the building. I would say the chance for that is little. Probably it was some other type of energy.
Yeah, I agree.
At
I
least
agree
I have
also
not
with this.
sufficient. I have not
Yeah,
seen sufficient evidence.
yeah. If you think about the cathedral, I think you know very well, maybe better of us, that they are built on the sacred line, energy lines, with the organ inside also. That is a instrument very important to make something with energy. There is also a big echo inside when they sing. Something happen also now with the Gregorian style, other stuff. We have the altare in the middle of the cathedral where you can put a person inside, on top of it. You can lay on top of it. And I don't know what can happen actually in a ritual like this in a big cathedral with all these energies. No, we don't. I don't think that is correct to talk just about electricity. I think that there is something more really deep inside the energies of our world. No, so. But my question is, are we sure that this cathedral use the energies in the right way, or maybe they do it something wrong for the humanity, for the human? Because, yeah, when you go inside a cathedral, you can see, you can feel that there is a big energy, but sometimes a lot of time for me, the energy that came from this place is not so good, I want to say. So it's possible for you that maybe in the past, all these cathedral, all these churches, the other stuff, make something wrong with the human. I don't know if you understand what I mean, but what do you think about
Yeah,
it?
I understand very well. First of all cathedrals, we should not forget that this is the currently allowed form of Christianity. The original one was different. So, did they make? We know that they made modifications in the philosophy and in the books. Did they also modify in an evil way the buildings as well? That I don't know. However, the thing is that uh, always this sacred geometry, it has this tendency to multiply and to get programmed by the consciousness of the people inside. And when we have priests, which now openly wearing the mark of the beast, which is probably the worst symbol and doctrine you can adopt. Imagine what resonance are they creating and multiplying and sending around and broadcasting is the right word. Uh,
Yeah, I noticed this. I just want to ask you this question because I noticed that in my studies, it seems that there was two kind of civilization that use energy in two different ways. One is the civilization that use the cathedral, the church, the line, the energy line of our heart, in some way that maybe I don't like too much. In the other way, in the other case, there was like people that use, dolmen, menhir, other things, other rock things that uh, seems to do something different, more natural. These people also live in places very different to the other civilization because If we want to say Tartaria civilization live in this big city, really beautiful for sure, with a lot of art, with a lot of line, a lot of things. But in the past, there was people that live, for example, in the places that we call Domus de Janax, for example, in Sardinia, or the other places that someone called necropoli, Etrurian necropolis. That for me is not a necropoli, but we can see later. So, what my question is it possible for you that there was two moments with two different civilizations that use the energies in two different ways?
Yeah, exactly. This is the cathedral way. This is the parasitized, what some people call it, bastardized or teachings of Christ. The original people of Christ, these were the Bogomils, the Cathars, the people who did the dolmens. Although dolmens are sometimes considered older than Christ, but this may not be really true. And actually, all the reliable sources say that it was not according to Jane Roberts, which is the most reliable source. This, what we call pagan way, continued up to 300 years ago. That's when it ended. So it is possible that you are making actually a very nice point that all these Tartarian cities with the sculptures, even in South America, still they are cities and still they are yeah, it is so that yeah, it is a nice point. Surely these are two different ways: the real way of the nature people and the imitation way of, yeah, I agree.
Ah, thank you. Yes, because I live. I wrote to you in the email that I came from the center of Italy, and I know that you went here sometimes. I noticed. We can notice also in your YouTube channel. You did some videos about the Etrurian place, the Tuscia place, we call it. And yeah, it seems that there was a very difficult civilization there. For example, all the places that they call necropoli, no, the place where they put the dead people. But for me, it's really something different. I don't think that the dead people go inside there. I think that there was a civilization maybe that live less than now inside their home. For example, if you think about now, the people are close in their houses, no? Because your house is perfect, there is everything, smart worker, you don't have to go outside, you just have to be inside. But if you think maybe in the past, the people live more in contact with the nature, they live more outside. So the place where they have to sleep is can be smaller, just can be something different. And the Etruria places maybe can be something similar. So my question is, uh, point by point, I would like to start with your opinion about the Etrurian civilization. What do you think about them?
Um, well, everything that is in the Etruria episode, nothing new. Yes, indeed, there could be a very small percentage of this necropoli that were really necropoli, but I noticed that they were also remodified after. I noticed that the older thing has eroded, and on the using the eroded shapes, they carved sometimes other things. And if in rare occasion it really looks like a necropoli, they make it a museum. Like there was this town with so many living spacious apartments and everything, and somewhere they found one really looks like a tomb, and that's where they make a museum. Also on the expedition, one man from Australia, he actually said you know what? All the nice apartments, they are already in use, and this one was kind of useless because so that's the only one they could make as a museum. Or he said they were selling the others as apartments or something like this, the municipality, and this one couldn't sell because it was so small, and they made the smallest one as a museum.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
a very small fraction are necropoli, yeah.
Yeah,
And
that's
the rest
true.
looks residential, yeah.
Uh, I would like to show you. I think you can see very well with this software some kind of things that I don't know what they are actually that I found in Sardinia. No, for example, this is a place that they call necropoli. Domus de Janas, actually, the name is, but everything that they don't know what is it, they explain with tomb, with necropolis. But I think that is something different. First of all, I want to know if you think that these things is really carved into the rock, or maybe we can say that this is something, some material, some different material.
I think the rock was way softer when they carved it. That's what I have. That's what I think, and it would have been actually quite easy. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Now, when I was there, I was like shocked, because all these places are really, really small. It seems that inside can live really small people. Not sure for that people, in my opinion, actually. But the other things that is really not easy to understand, and is how they can do it anyway, because yes, maybe in the past this rock was melted or something similar, yes, but yeah, with the hammer it's really difficult to do these things, no? You
Pickaxe.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Pickaxe, and it was these stones. Actually, I think they were growing. I'm quite sure. I saw a lot of evidence that stones are alive, and they ferment very much like bread. So in the historic moment when they were making all this, it was really, really soft, and with the pickaxe you could make an entire complex in a day, actually, without a problem, especially if you have nice drinks of magic plants and you become a superman. It is not a problem to build a complex in a day. That's my opinion.
yeah. My opinion, it was like, if you want to understand better what kind of way they use it to build it, I think we have to understand what is geopolymer. Do you agree?
Maybe, yeah. For some of them, but for the majority, I think they are in natural stone, which especially in Turkey I saw it a lot, and in Italy as well, but in Turkey is the best because over there the structure of the stone is more evident. I don't think they were cast. I mean, that means casting a large part of Italy, the full thing, because the stone is same. And if you say, okay, they what do you mean geopolymer in Domus de Janas? I'm not sure.
Yeah, okay. I will explain better. It seems for me that people come in a place like a hill, and they transform it like a cave, where they uh, take the rocks, maybe broken it like a really became a powder, like a sand anyway, and put together with I don't know, some liquid, some magic liquid, and then start to build from the back, from the down to up, like today, because in some way it's really difficult to understand how they can do this room inside the mountain, for example, no? But if you think like we built today, we built from the downstairs to the upstairs, no? So if you think that maybe the people come creating this, I don't know how to say, like a bread, how you said, and that put there to create these rooms. I don't know if you understand because my English is not so good, but uh, yeah, I think that people can do something like this. So I would like to know if you know something more about it.
More, I think, for example, that the pyramids were built with geopolymer technology and many other ancient stuff, many other ancient things. But as far as Domus de Janus, from what I saw, I thought it would be more difficult to, powder stone, and then also at many places I saw the stone is that so soft that it's quite easy to make, actually. I don't think they would have gone to such an extent when carving it is much easier.
Okay. Yeah, sure. But for example, when I noticed this is in Cagliari. Official researcher always say that this is a place like a cemetery for dead people. But I noticed that these all are really, really small. It's really difficult to go inside, and you can go deep like 2 meters. And inside you have all rooms that are connected together, are connected, you know. So I try to imagine how they can dig and go down and connect all the rooms together with, you know, the ancient technologies. Yeah, for me is still a real mystery, a big mystery.
Well, they might have had some sort of machines as well. There were some clues for that in on the Via Cavas. So Via Cavas are kind of connected with this type of things. So maybe there could have been some tools as well. But probably the softer stone is the clue for everything. Probably, I'm not sure. Also, not in all cases. But based on what I have seen, once we remember that the stone was much softer um, then everything falls into place in terms of construction.
Okay. Yeah. Well, when I talk about, I have just another 2 questions. If you can stay just a bit more with me.
Oh, as
Um,
long as you wish.
thank you very much. When we talk about Etrurian civilization, someone talk about a civilization that come from east, from the Slavic side. What do you think about this?
Yeah, that is the case. That's where the our race, landed on the when it first came to Earth, when it was introduced. It landed on the shore of River Volga, and that's in the legends. So no wonder that that's where the influence is stronger, that culture. And it's not that the other people are inferior, but initially, even you, although you're an Italian, you're also part of this race. So this is still the center where the probably the strongest energy center on Earth.
Okay. Yeah, because in our studies we start to think about things that maybe can shock some people, but you know, we say that Etrurian and people and the Roman people are very similar, and we say that Etrurian people was disappeared, but actually we started to say that maybe the ancient Roman is not the ancient Roman, but they were the Etrurian, and the Roman Empire came after, later of this population. What do you think about it? Is it possible that the ancient Romans are the Etrurian?
Of course, they did not disappear. They just changed the name, to Rome. And you say Etrurian in English, but in the Slavic languages, it's Etruscan, Ruscan. It's almost the same as Russians, and the language is very, very close. So you are the Italian people. The more you go to the north, from the same roots, and many nations on earth have the same. Oh, sorry, have
No,
the same
nothing.
roots. Have a legend. They have a story of how their roots were connected again to this place on the shores of River Volga.
Okay. Okay, I want to do a step back, because when you talk about the Via Cava, for example, I notice and I look your videos, but yeah, I went also there, and I really have had problem to understand what happened there and what they use it for. No, do you go? Found more information about the Via Cava?
No, there has been nothing new after I made the videos. It's quite mysterious of its own, and I did a number of expeditions there. People came all over the world. In the beginning, the first few days they would make some theories, but the more they see, the more everybody would agree. I have no clue, and yeah, we are all still in this state of being clueless about Via Cava.
Okay,
That's in
because when
short.
I was okay, I want to how say advise to all the people to see to watch the videos that Madame Sylvie made in Italian expedition, Etruria expedition, because there are a lot of things that you can maybe see and maybe help us comment back this video. But also, when I was there last week, I noticed in every place there is this kind of I don't know how we can call it. It seems like a way where some machine passed by. No. It seems a little Via Cava here, but we can see all of this rail everywhere. I mean, in a lot of part of the world, in Spain, in Portugal, in Turkey also. Do you think that this case, because what I notice here is two kind of civilizations, one before and one later. The one before is the one that used this kind of line to put their machine, like to build the street of the Etrurian places on the Via Cava also. And the other one is the civilization that create this hole that you can go inside, you can see all the room inside. What do you think about it?
Yeah, most definitely. It really looks like as if there was some machine on the sides. It definitely leaves that impression, that's for sure. And yes, the second layers are a fact. I have given messages about that in the videos. And it's most evident on places where the first layer has already eroded, and on the eroded shapes of that, they, found them suitable to build what they want. And at places I saw even 3 layers, but 2 are well visible. The third one is also sometimes to be noticed. Most definitely, yes.
Okay. One thing that I notice here and also in other places that make me really crazy because I really cannot understand what is. I don't know if you found some explanation for this. What is this letter T? You can find T everywhere. What do you think about it?
I don't see it so much as a T. I see it more as a gate decoration.
Okay.
I don't think it's
Like,
a letter.
you think like it's a fake door?
A kind of a decorational frame.
Okay, okay.
In,
Because we
in
notice a lot
it's
of
a bit
this.
of a bit
Sorry.
of an Egyptian motif design.
Okay.
A bit.
Yeah, we have a lot of this also in South America, no? In the other civilization, is really similar, no? I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's blow my mind because if you can find this way to build the architecture, what I mean, the symbols also, it seems that there was like a big line in all the world where uh, all the civilization do the similar things, no, from the South America to the center of Europe and also in Turkey or other places, also maybe in China. I never been there, but it seems that this line in the middle of Europe in the world have the same culture. What do you think?
Well, that's where Tartaria comes. They're the cultural link.
Okay. Okay, Madame Sylvie. For now I finish my question. Yes, I really actually I have a lot of more question, but maybe if you like, we can do something more in the future, something different. Okay.
Yeah. It's a pleasure to talk to you, and also, yeah, we can chat any other time so that you keep me updated on the modern alternative discoveries in this regard, because I'm really suffering from lack of time lately to be on historic wavelength, and it was refreshing to get on it for an hour, and now I have to return and do my garden, my vegetables.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have something different here. I live in a farm, so I do something with the animals, So it's good to know that you do a similar life. And I also noticed that you study, I would say, actually, actuality. Because you did a video that we analyzed in the past of the red calf, of Israel places. Maybe we can talking about in the future about it. Okay.
Yeah, we can have chats now and then. Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, I
Okay.
would enjoy that.
Perfect. So thank you very much. I hope to see you soon. And yes, thank you again.
Well, the pleasure is for me, and have a nice day. And thank you, and all the best to you and all your animals.
Thank you very much. So, people, we just finished. So, thank you for watching. And we can see soon, I hope. And have a nice day, you too. Bye bye.
Viviamo in un videogioco dove tutto si ripete ciclicamente. Ci sono player one, personaggi non giocanti che tengono in piedi la Matrix. E tu che cosa sei? Da che parte stai? C'è un grande multiverso là fuori, fatto di luce e colori. Effetto Mandela ci confonde, reality e finzioni droni che collassano, creando quella che tu chiami realtà. verità nessuno la conosce, probabilmente non esiste. La vita è fatta di punti